Good morning. Let's get this back in the hoop. Stand. Okay. We're just gonna finish the roof and then we're done. Just get this tightened. Okay. So I am totally caught up until from yesterday. I gotta find my felt pieces here. Okay, so we should have like our triangle roof and then our little peppermint for the top. So move the peppermint aside for a minute. Let's do this first. I'm gonna move it up. I've been back and forth on how to finish this. I just have never made a decision and I kept thinking something will come to me and nothing has come to me. So what we're gonna do is give you some options of how you want to finish it. So, oh shoot, I'm gonna need some extra needles. I'm gonna want something to hold this down. Let me see if I have any in my bag. Hold on. I do not. Let me grab my pin cushion. Hold on a second. Okay, I've got my little pin cushion from Giselle. Alice and the Bear. She makes these itty bitty. I mean, it's like the size of the door. It's just little, but anyways, has emery sand in it, so it sharpens my needles. This one is so thick, it does not want to go in though. I should not have taken it out. Okay, so I'm just gonna pin this down real quick so we can stitch. Well, I'm actually gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do a running stitch first. And then we'll do, if you want to do a little bit more, you can. Let's see. I don't want it to go down the middle. Hang on. That hurts. That's not going to be good. I just can't get it. It's like too far away. I wonder if I do it this way. There's just not a lot of give when I'm going this way. Okay. I just want to hold that in place. So I'm going to do a running stitch first. That'll just hold it in place and then we can decide if we want to do more on it. So a running stitch, have we done a running stitch? I think I talked about it, but we never did it. I don't remember. So a running stitch is similar to a back stitch, but it's like a dotted line versus a straight line. So I'm just going to come up in the middle and do, oh, I forgot to tie a knot. And I'm using whatever's left right here, 3 strands of white. You could use 4 or 6. I mean, it doesn't matter. I would say whatever scrap piece you have left over is going to be fine. Well, if it's 2, I would probably double it over and do 4. But we're just going to come up and we're just going to do a stitch forward. And then like we're doing a back stitch, we're going to go forward a stitch length. But instead of going back, we're just going to move forward. I want to come up like right where that needle is. just want to hold this in place, and then we can decide if we want to do some extra fun stuff. I just haven't been able to decide. Amanda, hi. She says, this is beautiful. Thank you. I'm so excited you're on. I haven't talked to you forever. Okay, so anyways, a running stitch, we just do this all along the whole thing, just so we don't have to keep those needles in there. This will just hold it down. So the options we have will be to completely cover this white felt. So the felt will just give us like some padding so that it is a little thicker. So we could completely cover this with stitching, or we could do like icicles hanging from it. Does anyone have a thought on that? I feel like the house has so much detail that we really could just leave it pretty simple. This side seems longer. I'm going to trim this. Yep, that's a little better. Oh, sorry, I was off camera. Okay. I feel like that's too plain. Sorry, I'm looking at this for a minute, trying to decide. I'm going to leave it for a minute. Let's do the peppermint on top, and then we'll go back to the roof. I got to move this down a little, I think. I'm actually going to move this whole thing. That's going to be in my way. I think I need to have it hold on to the side instead of the top. Hold on. Hold on. It's like clear high up in the air. I need that space up there. Okay. I can't see your comments for a minute while I do this. We're going to put this right at the top. Tie off the red first, or the white first real quick. Okay. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. All right. We're gonna do our little peppermint at the top, and then we can decide what to do with the roof. Let me get out the red. I'm going to use 2 strands of red. And we're going to do some more detached chain stitches around this. Sorry, I'm tying a knot. Hold on. Oh my gosh. 2 strands is kind of hard to put into knots. Okay. So I'm going to come up in the top middle. Actually, let's see, let's just zoom. Top middle. We're going to go down in the same spot. And then however big you want to make this, I'm going to come down about this far. And loop that over the top. Pull it snug. And then go back down. Good morning. It's so pretty. Thank you for sharing. Oh, thanks for coming. I think that this turned out really, really fun. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. So I'm going to go up and down in that same hole. I'm going to come up about the same as I did before. I'm going to get the edges down first. And then we'll come over here. Do this side. I pulled my top two pretty tight. Oh yeah, see, they're all more like lines instead. But that's okay. So we're coming up just in the fabric, not in the felt, and then we're going down inside the felt. And then you can decide if you want to, whoops, hold on, I gotta rethread my needle. Then you can decide if you want to do 1 or 2 between these two. I'm just going to do one more stitch just in the middle of those two, but you could probably fit 2 if you wanted to. I just said 2 a lot of times. I think 1 is plenty. Am I going to have enough thread to finish it, though? That's the question. It's going to be real close on thread. Got 2 more. One more. I think we're barely gonna have enough thread. How great is that? I love it when I win with thread. That's a really small loop, but we got it. I think there's a knot going on in the back. Oh, I don't like where that is. Hold on. Something going on back here. Oh, look! I've got all this extra thread. Where did it come from? I don't know. There's a knot somewhere back there. We're gonna let it be. I knew I felt some extra thread back there. I just couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Okay. There. So if you wanted to do like 2 between, I really do think 2 would fit. They would just be closer together. I don't know what happened back here. Somewhere I didn't pull it tight. So usually when this happens, I'll just take this and tie it in a knot together so that wherever it happened doesn't get pulled loose. So I'm just gonna do one more knot. and then trim both of them. I'm not sure what happened, but whatever, we're gonna leave it. All right, let's get this back out of the hoop stand. Okay, and go back to having it at the top because this is not a good angle, like standing up while I'm stitching. Okay, we gotta decide what to do about this roof. Do we want to just leave it, or do we want to add some stuff? This is not open far enough. Sorry, this is a lot of rearranging today. I kind of think with the peppermint we could maybe even just leave it. Try not to get it all in there so we can still see it. Maybe there's enough stuff on the house that we want to leave the roof a little simpler. What do we think? We could do like a candy cane border. We could do icicles hanging, which I think would be too much. We could just do some more stitching on here. I kind of like it as is. Move it over a little so you can see it. I think it might be done. I don't think it needs more on the roof. I kind of like it, just simple. I'm gonna leave it. All right. I'm looking at it. I feel like it needs something else, but what? We could do like some trees on the sides. Or like a little walkway. All right. I'm gonna turn off this live. I think I'll go live again tomorrow with some additions you can make if you want to. I think this can be done. But I also think you could do a few more just like little ideas. Like I think trees could be really fun and a walkway could be fun. I don't know. I'm going to look at it. I'll post in my stories and maybe give you some options of things that we could do tomorrow. But I'm calling this done for now. I really love it. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Check back in the stories on Instagram and vote what we do tomorrow. And then next week on Monday, we will finish the backs. So have a great day. Today was short and I will see you next time. Bye.